So guys, let's jump into secondary correction. When we talk about secondary correction, we talk about correcting one or more part of the image without attaching all the other part of the image. So maybe when we want to fix a color cast, or when we want to fix a certain area of the image without affecting the other. When we talk about secondary correction, we can mix that up with lots of tools. So we can talk about secondary correction using the qualifier. So by selecting a certain area and work on that area, we can talk just by working with certain colors. So just to let you know, talking about secondary correction, it's correcting an area or an object or something that inside our frame without affecting the whole image. So normally during this point, I want to work with this, part of the curve and do some secondary tweaks, just working with a few colors in the frame. So I want to talk right now about the qualifier and this selector, because I will talk about that in a few lessons. So I'll be focusing on secondary correction, just sticking to the curves. So after our primaries, I'm gonna create another node with Option S or Alt S on Windows, and I'll be calling this Secondaries Curves. So I'll start playing with this just by going into curves and by going into U versus U. So right now I just want to change these little colors right there, and I want to tweak just the blues. I want to leave her skin tones as it is. I just want to tweak a bit the blues and this magenta and reds. So you can work in U versus U just by placing points whenever you want with a click of your mouse, or you can just select for first away the colors from the whole spectrum. You can take, by the way, the color and move it, and the U versus U, what it does, it basically help you tweaking that range of colors, so it will be equally to a secondary correction, because we'll be tweaking just a specific area of colors as you wish. So I'm gonna take that as you can see from the spectrum, it's the main working part from this cyan looking image, and I want to tweak it going up a bit and make it that kind of greenish cyan. I want to go even up, and right now I'm okay with that, and I can go even with that high drop tool on the image and press with my mouse, and it will create little dots inside my U versus U. And I will tweak also that a bit, and I'll change the color of this too without affecting any other areas of my image. I can also do that by switching panels from U versus U, going to U versus saturation. Maybe this specific areas I want to keep it less saturated, so I want to do something like this. Maybe I just want to go on U versus luminance and crank up or down the luminance of this area. Maybe up a bit, why not? And maybe I want to go into luminance versus saturation. That will be basically talking from the blacks to the white, and that this bottom part is like having the image totally desaturated, and this upper part is having it totally saturated. And so I can even there tweak the few parts, and again the spectrum that stands below our main image, it's how this specific area, we have that gray area, is affected in the image. by saturation. So maybe I want to keep just that large area a bit down, and maybe I want to set a lower black point. And as you can see, in that way, I'm just, applying a few tweaks to specific areas. I can also play with saturation versus saturation, that it's like a mixture of lumetri versus saturation and U versus saturation. And then I can do the exact same thing by taking that little part and cranking that down a bit. And yeah, let's look at the before and after, and we tweak just the blues without touching anything else. We touched a bit of this magenta look, mood. I want to redo that. Maybe I want to, have it in a gentle way there. And maybe I want to desaturate that too, that little part. We can even take a higher tonal range there because we don't have lots of information here. And yeah, there you go. And as you can see, by the way, we modified just that little part. We can also isolate that with windows. We can, use it just the way it is. We can, take a window and just decide to make that secondary grade inside a specific area, or maybe just fade it out, whatever you want. But by the way, I like it the way it is, because if we focus on her, by the way, we didn't change a thing on her face, but just on the blue. And right now, let's jump on the next video and we'll talk about repositioning, keyframing, and tracking inside, that clip.